This lecture is about peptides and protein, and in this presentation I am trying to cover the whole biochemistry of peptides and protein to structural level. Topics which I have covered in these presentations are: first is chemical properties of peptides and protein, second is peptide bond, third ionization behavior of peptides, fourth one is size and composition of peptides and proteins, fifth one is conjugated protein, and the last one is the level of structures in proteins. Chemical properties of peptides and proteins. Two amino acids are covalently joined through a substituted amide linkage termed a peptide bond. Means two different amino acids are joined by means of covalent bonding through a peptide bond. Such linkage is formed by the removal of elements of water. This process is called dehydration from the alpha carboxyl group of one amino acid and the alpha amino group of another. Means lysine and arginine are the two different amino acids. If alpha carboxyl group of lysine is involved, then alpha amino group of arginine is involved in this kind of bonding. Formation of peptide bond by condensation. Peptide bond formation is an example of condensation reaction, a common class of reaction in living cell. The alpha amino group of one amino acid with R2 group act as a nucleophile to displace the hydroxyl group of another amino acid with R1 group, forming a peptide bond shaded in yellow. Amino group are good nucleophile, but the hydroxyl group are poor leaving group and is not readily displaced. Three amino acids can be joined by two peptide bonds to form a tripeptide. Four amino acids can be linked to form a tetrapeptide, 5 to form a pentapeptide, and so forth. When a fewer amino acids are joined in this fashion, the structure is known as oligopeptide. When many amino acids are joined, the product is called a polypeptide. Proteins may have thousands of amino acid residues, although the term protein and polypeptide are sometimes interchangeably. Molecules referred to as polypeptide generally have molecular weight below 10,000, and those called protein have higher molecular weight. An amino acid unit in a peptide is often called a residue. In a peptide, the amino acid residue at the end with the free alpha amino group is the amino terminal or N-terminal residue. The residue at the other end, which has a free carboxyl group, is the carboxyl terminal or C-terminal residue. So, if in the peptide, if the end is facing by the alpha amino group, the end is called the N-terminal end, and if it is faced by the carboxyl group, the end is called the C-terminal. Can be distinguished by their ionization behavior. Peptides contain free alpha amino group and the one free alpha carboxyl group at the opposite end of the chain. These groups ionize as they do in free amino acid, although the ionization constant are different because an positively charged group is no longer linked to the alpha carbon. The alpha amino and the alpha carboxyl group of non-terminal amino acids are covalently joined in the peptide bond, which do not ionize and thus do not contribute to the total acid-base behavior of peptides. The R group of some amino acid can ionize, and in the peptide these contribute to the overall acid-base properties of the molecule. Biologically active peptides and polypeptides occur in a vast range of size and composition. Proteins contain different molecular weight, different number of residues and number of polypeptides, which have shown in the table. No generalization can be made about the molecular weight of the biologically active peptides and protein in relation to their functions. Naturally occurring peptides range in length from the 2 to many thousands amino acid residues. Even the smallest peptides have biologically important effects. Some important point in this regard: some proteins consist of single polypeptide chain. The protein in which two or more polypeptides are associated non-covalently is known as multi-subunit proteins. If at least two polypeptide chains are identical, the protein is said to be oligomeric. The identical unit consists of one or more polypeptide chain are referred to as protomers. Some proteins contain chemical groups other than amino acid. Many proteins, for example, the enzyme ribonuclease A and chymotrypsin, contain only amino acid residues and no other chemical constituent. These are considered simple proteins. However, some proteins contain permanently associated chemical component in addition to amino acid. These are called conjugated protein. The non-amino acid part of a conjugated protein is usually called its prosthetic group. Conjugated proteins are classified on the basis of the chemical nature of the prosthetic group. Lipoprotein contains lipids, glycoprotein contains sugar groups, and metalloprotein contain a specific metal. Some proteins contain more than one prosthetic group. Usually, the prosthetic group play an important role in the protein biological function. Level of structure in proteins. Four levels of protein structure are commonly defined: a description of all covalent bonds, mainly peptide bond and disulfide bond, linking amino acid residue in a polypeptide chain in its primary structure. The most important element of primary structure is the sequence of amino acid residue. Secondary structure refers to a particular stable arrangement of amino acid residues, giving rise to recurring structural arrangements like alpha helix and beta plateaus. Tertiary structure describes all aspects of three-dimensional folding of a polypeptide. When a protein has two or more polypeptide subunits, their arrangement in space is referred to as quaternary structure. The summary of the presentation is that amino acid can be joined through peptide bond to form a peptides and proteins. Some proteins are composed of several non-covalent associated polypeptide chains called subunits. On hydrolysis, simple protein yield only amino acid and conjugated protein yield amino acid plus prosthetic group. The sequence of amino acid in a protein is a characteristic of that protein and is called its primary structure. This is one of four general recognized levels of protein structure. Thank you, and hope that this presentation really helped you to understand the biochemistry of peptides and protein and its four levels of structure at molecular level.